Future is shaped by the habits you repeat, not the goals you set. So that's how I want to start it off because we're going to talk about goals and, getting into 2026, right? So a lot of people are setting new intentions, new goals, New Year's resolutions, things like that. And I used to be super serious about it. I went to like workshops and stuff like that and would basically just go in depth with each goal. And I think it's a good thing to do, at least once a year to really go into deep depth of your goals. And I think I forget how many categories there are, but there's several categories for your goals. Like you want obviously like family goals, you want career goals, you want fitness goals or health goals, and things like that. But then I made a video the other day that was like, you want to have goals that are like tangible, but then you also want to have some goals that you look forward to that don't put a lot of pressure on you so that you can like look forward to something like, and it's not like you have to go and do a bunch of stuff to get to that goal. So I think you have to have a balance of
Like
those.
small ones, big ones,
Yeah, small
hard
ones.
one. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, different things, but like things you look forward to, and not necessarily goals, but things that you get to enjoy to do. Like I get to go out and visit my cousin, or I get to go see my grandma, and it's something that you haven't done in a long
Oh, I'm
time.
gonna go to Tahoe this
Yeah, go
yeah,
somewhere that's
yeah.
not like it's not gonna drain you. It's not like I'm committing to losing 20 pounds this year, and have to do it by this date. And then you have to go through all this work to do it, which is a good goal to have if that's your goal, but that shouldn't be the only thing you
Yeah, like
do.
fun goals, like, oh, I'm gonna go, I don't know, I'll go walk the reservoir.
Yeah. Or I want to get on my bike, twice a week this week, and just even if it's for 10 minutes, like just do something new. Or I'm going to buy rollerblades for myself and try rollerblading, do something like something that you look forward to doing, like you haven't done since you were a kid or something. I
I
don't know.
I think like what you're saying is like so true. Is like goals is like because when we're in school, it's like, hey, the teacher's like, yeah, do this, each week, and like there's homework and there's tests, and that's what
Right.
it's gonna be. Because now as we're getting older, it's like, hey, there's no more school anymore unless even after college, there's no more school. And it's about you planning it. It's like planning your life and like what do you want to do, and if you don't really say like you're not planning any goals, then you're not gonna do much.
Yeah, well, they give you that structure when you're in
Yeah.
school. That structure of you have to do this and that. And now we're adults and we have to build our own structure. And it's so easy to give yourself that out because no one's holding you accountable. And so you have to hold yourself accountable. And it's not easy. Like
Mhm.
I know I'm not good at it. I slip up all the time. I'm not perfect, but I have to build some sort of structure for myself. Like I used to do like a nightly routine and a morning routine every day. And I try to stay consistent with it. Like I have like a mason jar full of water that I try to keep at my bedside. So right when I wake up in the morning, my first goal is to make my bed, and then it's to go drink that pitcher of water.
Wow,
And
that's a lot.
I finish that mason jar before I'm, brushing my teeth and starting my day, like before I leave the house. And then, obviously try to drink water throughout the day too. But like at least those are two tangible goals, making my bed and drinking that water before I leave the house. I already won the day because I killed it on two goals. And so there's another like list that I'm gonna try to implement that this year. That's one of my goals is to have 5 critical tasks every day that I do. And so those could be, making sure that I do some sort of exercise routine, at least getting outside every day or whatever those critical tasks are. You get to decide what those are for you to help you be better than you were yesterday. And so that's
Mhm.
one of my big goals this year is to really just focus more on that and just become a better version of myself than I was last year. Because if I can do that and you win day by day instead of it being year by year. If you win enough days in a row, you win enough months in a row, then you win enough years in a row, and then you have a winning life. It doesn't just happen by accident. You have to win the days. You have to win each hour. You have to win each minute. You have to just try to break it down into small increments, and then it doesn't seem as big of a gulp to handle. You do it in small increments, and then eventually it manifests into a winning life.
Yeah, and even if you do like a couple things one day and maybe don't do nothing the next day, but at least you still did a couple of those things, or like let's say
Yeah.
one day you hit it, everything, and that way it balances, or like it will help out in the long run.
Right. Like this week, my goal, I mean, I didn't start on New Year's Day, but my goal was to just be more involved with exercising. So like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was either going on a walk or I went to the gym, hit the sauna, did something, even if it was for like 10, 15 minutes, I did something.
Mm-hmm.
And then like today, like I went on a walk this morning, I got it in. But then if I like say tomorrow it's Friday and I don't want to work out or whatever, I did enough this week for myself. Unless I set a strict goal for myself, I want to work out 5 times this week,
Yeah.
or whatever every day this week. I can give myself that out. Hey, I did 4 miles this morning. I did arms the day before that, and then whatever it is. And then that way you're still holding true to your goals, but you're not putting so much pressure on yourself. Because usually you do a week or two of that and then it's over. You don't want to do it and you overstrained yourself, or you did it to the point where it feels like a chore. And that's where people lose their drive. Motivation's not going to carry you. You have to have that input of just doing it whether you feel like it or not, and it not necessarily feel like a chore, but you got to think of the bigger picture of it. Like, this is making me better in the long term, and it's those small incremental things over and over, the repeating of those habits that you do, like the quote we said. It's the repetition of the habits you have, not the goals you set, that really make the difference in your life.
Yeah, then it becomes like it doesn't even like feel like a chore or a bad like hard thing. It's just like just you doing it. Like
The standard you set for yourself, you have to. This is your identity.
like when I go to the gym, so like I'll lift or like I'll stretch a little bit and then I'll lift and then sometimes I usually just end it off with like a mile on the elliptical or like even though it's not long, trust me, like I should be doing more, but like
Yeah.
I'll do like 10 12 minutes or something like that just to get like a mile or on it or even just walking on the treadmill. Like if you set it up to like forgot what it's called, but let's say
The
the
incline.
height, the incline. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll put the incline. I watched it on TikTok. It's like, oh, you put the incline to 12, and then you walk at like 3, where the speed setting like 3,
Yeah.
and then I'll do it for like, man, like if I get to 15 minutes, that's like, I'll be sweating like for
Right.
sure.
It makes it a big difference. I
The
mean,
incline is crazy. Like
Yeah.
it's good for. It's also they say it's like an ab workout. So
Okay.
I'll mix it up. Sometimes I'm like, I'm not doing cardio today. And then the next time I come to the gym, well, I'll go play basketball and I'll just do basketball, or I'll lift a little bit and then do basketball.
Yeah, so you're setting that sort of goal and that standard for yourself to do it when you go to the gym. You have that. That's your end cap
Yeah.
of your workout or whatever.
And it's my fun. Or
Yeah.
like I didn't used to like run so much or like walk a lot, but now like I'm using like it's like more like it's kind of therapeutic and stuff, and it's just like it's just focusing on running, or like I got music in it. I'm just like, yeah, you just
Yeah.
start going. You just start getting on like a beat, or like you start going, and
100%.
it's like, oh, my body, it feels good, honestly. Like like how you're saying, like well, sweating is good, like it's
Yeah.
I think it's good for the body. And it's like, oh, I sweated today, like I don't know, I felt accomplished.
Right. And then you feel tired at the end of the day and you're like, "Ah, that was a full day."
Yeah, like in the next day, it's like, oh, my body's sore. It's like, oh, maybe I'll rest, or like I'm not gonna do that. Like,
Yeah.
I felt, yeah, you worked,
Right. Yeah, it's just like not doing that to the point where you're always sore, I guess. I mean, you want to be sore, but then obviously you want to keep it so that way you're like, "Oh, I'm so sore. I can't work out for the next 2 days because I'm so sore from it."
Eh,
And some days some workouts are like that, but it's good for you, but then it hopefully it doesn't deter you away from the overall goal that you're trying to get to by working out.
and I don't want to injure myself too.
Right, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, those are good goals to have, and I think just all of 2026, it's like setting those standards for yourself. But then it's really, I think it's more of setting habits for yourself instead of setting goals. Goals are great to look forward to, but it's the little habits to get you to that goal. And then you have to just rework it backwards from the goal you want, and then work backwards and then try to bring it to the smallest thing you can do every day to get closer to that goal. And then it doesn't look like such a big bite, to do, because you're able to do it in small incremental things. So that way it's less daunting. And you're just like, oh, my goal is to eat less sugar. Okay. Well, let's start by just getting rid of the ice cream in the freezer so I
Uh-huh.
don't even look at it when I open that door. But if you have a cookie every now and then, like, don't beat yourself up over it. But hey, you're trying, you're adding, a sense of acknowledging it and then taking yourself away from it.
I like to buy like at Trader Joe's. I believe they have like frozen fruit that's covered in chocolate, so you can eat like a banana or like a
Ooh.
strawberry, and that's like my instead of like
Well, chocolate's good for you too, right?
Yeah, I hope I'm not
And not
a
like
little.
overdoing it, but yeah.
Yeah, like that's my way. It's like instead of me having like straight ice cream, like, oh, here's some at least a little fruit or something. It's like, and I won't eat as many. It's like, oh, I'll just have like 2 instead of like, I don't know.
See, my guilty pleasure is I get that Ben and Jerry's, bro.
Oh, yeah.
The whole pint too.
Well,
I'll get a whole pint and eat the whole thing.
well, they'll put it right on the display right there, and it's like, damn, that flavor looks hella good.
Dude, my
The,
my
the, you-
my favorite one is the Tonight Dough, that one with Jimmy Fallon on it.
oh,
I don't
that-
know, for some reason, man, just the cookie in there with the chocolate chip and just I don't know, man. I'll fuck up a whole pint of that.
Well, like,
no
yeah, because like
problem.
you're halfway done with it. It's like, might as well finish it because there's not much left.
But it's like 1,200 calories. And
yeah.
I'm like, damn. And then I feel like shit afterwards, but it's like I don't try to do it all the time. But it's like I got the guilty pleasures, you know, and then or I'll have a glass of whiskey every once in a while. But you got to have that balance of it, so
Yeah.
you're not overdoing it, but you're not also taking away the pleasure out of it. But you have that discipline, so that way you can enjoy those things in life, but just don't overindulge. And I think you can balance that with any aspect of life. You could do that with anything, with whatever that goal is, you know? So I think the biggest thing is don't beat yourself up over it and don't act like you're going to change overnight and just be this whole different person, but do it in small incremental stages, because then it's easier to do. And then in the long run, little by little, you're going to start developing these new ways of doing things. And it's not going to feel like you got to change overnight, because a lot of people just try to change overnight and it never sticks. And so I realize that with myself, at least.
Oh yeah, like I'm still trying to make changes. I think, like you're saying, just making changes is important to your life if you want to see change, and or else your life's not gonna be like, it's just gonna be the same. And I don't like just staying still. Like if I feel like I'm just not doing much, it's like, oh, I need to change something in my life, man. Like I need to, like, I don't know, like maybe I'll start running, or like I'll go, I don't know, start learning boxing, or like that's maybe
Yeah.
some stuff I'm trying to
Right.
work on. Like so as I'm getting older, like for me, like I've just been sitting down in the chair a lot, and my knees be cracking all the time. I guess that's when we're getting older, but man, my knees crack all the time and get up. I'm like, man, this sucks. Like getting old, like my grandma always, yeah, getting old sucks. And like I was like, man, I can't imagine being like 80 and like getting up and stuff. Like, I mean, I feel like an old man already, but I feel like I'm starting to stretch more. That's
Mhm.
like my goal is just stretch more,
Yep.
so that way I want to get injured. And yes,
Keep your
I also
body.
need to. I also want to. I think goals is me to maybe start running, or like I'll use the elliptical more so my knees can get movement.
So what I learned with doing your knees is there's a good exercise. You know, you're talking about incline. So do the incline on the treadmill at like 3 miles an hour or whatever, but go backwards, walk backwards.
Oh, I
And
see.
it builds the muscle behind the kneecap and it builds those muscles up more. So doing it backwards over time, you're building that muscle and strengthening your knees. So try that, you know, and that'll help, because that's what I was doing for my knees too. And then obviously like running downhill and stuff is horrible for your knees, putting all that impact on there. But yeah, doing that, and then obviously joint care, joint health. I'm learning more about it myself. I don't know a lot, but yeah, as we're getting older, stretching is key.
Yeah, the joints is
and
great.
making sure your muscles around those joints and stuff are good, so that way you don't have issues down the road, because hip hurt. You know, you could hurt your hip when you're older. I want to be this agility, this old man that can just
Oh yeah,
you know do anything.
you see the like the just people doing marathons. It's like I have some friends that do marathons, or like even just some of Nicole's family members, like they do marathons. I'm like, man, like I can't imagine. Like for me personally, I don't think I could run like. Honestly, I could run a mile probably, but once it starts getting like a 1.5, like 5 miles, I'm like, bro, there's no way I can keep going. Like I'd probably just have to walk, you know?
Well, that's what you got to do it in incremental stages, right?
Yeah,
You
yep.
do like a 5K, and then you do a 10K, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
you do a half marathon, and then you do a full marathon. But it's incremental.
Yeah, it's like you have to
small.
start.
Yeah,
It's training, you know, or training your body.
But then you'd be surprised once you start getting into that and have that regimen. You could do a marathon, no problem. I'm not going to say you're going to run the entire marathon, but you could do a marathon, you know, and finish it in a day. It's just the training and getting your body ready for it. But that's a worthwhile goal to have. I mean, I know within my lifetime, I'd like to run a marathon and do it and have one in the books. Why not? You know,
just to say you can just, hey, I
I
did.
did a marathon.
Yeah. Or like when you have kids one day, damn, daddy did a marathon. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I was like, that ain't shit. I could do it again. I'll keep up with you kids and do one with you.
I'll drink a beer or.
Yeah. I'll be
Or-
drinking beers while I'm doing the marathon.
Yeah, beer. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I think goals for 2026. It's just that's kind of why I wanted to get on here and talk about it, because I think I still have yet to write down my goals, and I try to do that every year. I have a little notebook. It's somewhere over here, and I write down, you know, each year I have different goals for my relationship, for my health, you know, for my finances, for all those things. And I think it's good to just think about it and not let it get like you stressed out or anything, but it should be like motivating. It should be something that you look forward to. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna meet that goal. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna write that down because that's what I want. I want to own a house this year.
Do you,
I want to have this year. I want to own a dog. I want to lose 20 pounds by the end of the year. That kind of stuff, and be like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but then you work backwards.
do you ever look back and like look at the notes and like, damn, this actually happened?
Yeah.
Or like, I'm like, man, it's like I've done that before. Like, a couple years ago, I wrote something and it's like, damn, I got to it.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's kind of surprising sometimes
Right.
because it's like sometimes like just time and it's like you do it.
But you have that structure for yourself, and you have some sort of roadmap that you built for yourself. You have something to look forward to. You have something that you're working towards, and maybe you're not thinking about it every day, but subconsciously your brain knows I wrote that down and I'm striving towards that. So it's going to start looking for ways to achieve that goal for you. And if you revisit that goal over and over again, I feel like it'll eventually, if you look at that notebook and remind yourself of those goals, you're going to think about it more frequently, and then more things are going to come into your life, or you're going to notice things. It's like if you look at a red car and you just go out on the road and you keep looking for red cars, you're going to see a bunch of red cars that you weren't going to necessarily
because
notice
you're paying
before.
attention to it more.
Right.
Instead,
So you're paying attention to the red. You're looking for red cars, but then I said, okay, how many black cars did you see while you were looking for red cars? You're gonna be like, I don't know. So it's like what you focus on is what you're gonna start realizing and starting to see things and puzzle pieces click together, and certain things happen. So I think it's good to set those goals and then revisit them and remember why you set them, what you want to conquer and take care of. And even if you don't hit the goal, it's like you're probably closer than you are than you would have been if you never set that goal for yourself. At least you have something to look forward to and strive for, and then it gives you that sense of like, I'm alive. I got something to do. I got to figure something out instead of just staying stagnant or staying like you don't know what you want to do. You got something to look forward to, and it could be the smallest thing. It could be I just want to learn how to. I just want to buy a pair of shoes, or I want to buy something for my mom, or something. You know what I mean? And I need to work this much to get this much money extra to pay for it. Whatever it is, I think just accomplishing little goals is going to eventually make you get into a bigger goal. So, yeah, dude, I think that's pretty solid. I think goals for 2026, we'll start working on those more. Start coming at you more regularly with some podcasts, everybody.
Yeah.
Love to have everyone, be a part of setting some goals for this year and making sure that we're doing good and staying healthy and get to live a good 2026. I'm looking forward to a lot of good things this year. So I'm getting married this year. A lot of cool stuff's happening. So I hope a lot of cool stuff's happening for you and everyone out there watching too, and keep going.
Yeah, everyone's on like different paths, and like I feel like this year is gonna be it's big changes. I feel like I'm gonna find like a different career and just start kind of like maybe at the bottom again, but like just get into something more like more money,
Right.
or just stuff like that. And like yeah, I kind of want to get more fit too, and like I hope I can keep like right now since like I'm not working, I'm using this time to like be more fit. Like I'm gonna go to the gym. Like I'm gonna do that's gonna be my thing. I'm gonna start going to the gym more to like work on my body.
Yeah.
And like yes, finances and figure out what I want to invest in or like what I'm gonna where I want to live eventually. And
Right.
it's crazy. It's crazy
Yeah.
times. But yeah, it's 2026. I'm about to be 30. I'm just like, man, I'm just like adulting. It's like
Yeah.
I want to do better. Like I feel like I'm a little behind from people. But but like I was saying, everyone has different lives. Like some people don't
Right.
go to college yet. Some people, like I read through TikTok, like they go to college at like 35. And it's like it's okay to start over, It's like this is as older people say, like when you're younger, it's like this is the time to change your life, If
Yeah.
not, you're stuck, And I'm lucky I'm able to change my life, and like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what's gonna be 2026 for me and kind of goals. And yeah, I hope everyone else has like goals too, and like. Yeah, life is crazy. Trust me, it flies by. It's already 2026. We're, almost, 10 years ago we already passed, or maybe 11. We already graduated from high school. It's like it's nuts.
Yeah.
Trust me,
Goes
when
by
they-
quick. But one thing I want to say before we end this is like when you set your goals and stuff and you have your own things going on, you can't compare yourself to anyone else because no one else has been through what you've been through and no one else has experienced life the way you've experienced it. So like I think there's some sort of quote like comparison is the thief of joy or something like that, where if you compare yourself to people, you could ruin your own outcome because you're thinking, why don't I have this yet? And they already have it.
Yeah,
But it doesn't matter because you're on your own timeline and it'll come and things might happen differently for you.
yeah.
So I think it's just don't lose that motivation, and who cares if, whatever. It's hard to think that way because we all see social media and everyone's like, we are comparing each other subconsciously,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, everyone's striving and trying to do good.
I gotta be more grateful and also be positive too.
Well, and the
'cause
more you focus on the
that-
shit you have and how grateful you are, the more things are going to come into
Like
your
po-
life. You're going to
positive.
attract more things to be grateful for.
yeah,
Things are going to
That-
come. If you're thinking about that, what you think about and the way you think about life is going to manifest in your day to day. And if you can be grateful for the little things and the things you have, then in more things, it amplifies, And I've seen it happen in my life. I've seen it happen in my friends' lives. It's like if you're focused on negativity and you're thinking about politics and what's going on in Venezuela and what's going on over here and there, and that's all you're focused on, and you're not doing, whatever's happening is happening. There's nothing that we can necessarily do. But it's just like, yeah, you can think about that and have thoughts and things of that.
all the outside noise.
Yeah.
Oh, well, my battery died.
Hopefully
on
it's
there.
saved that.
But at least it's on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But at the end of the day, you just got to
Yeah.
keep going, be grateful, and try to live life the best you can, and just try to be cool with everybody, and just live.
Yeah,
life
be good and-
be a good person.
yeah, exactly. Just,
Yeah.
That was be good and do good. And
Yeah,
life will be good.
just try to treat people the way you want to be treated, and who cares, like what everyone else is doing. Just do you and know that you're on the right path. If your intentions are good, then that's all that matters.
That's Mountain Mike Talks. I don't even know what episode we're on, but this could be episode 1. It could be 6.
We're on some sort of
yeah.
episode, and this is the first one for 2026.
yeah,
that's for
exactly. So we're just here trying, and I hope everyone watches it or sees us. And
Yeah.
if not, it's all good. We're here. Me and him just got together and had a fun day, and I'm glad I'm here. And we're gonna eat and have fun.
Sure. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, like, share, subscribe. Let us
Yeah.
know. Leave us some comments, and let us know what you'd like to talk about in the next podcast.
Yep.
All right.
Later, everyone.
Peace out.
Peace out. But it's okay.
Hopefully it saved the video, and this is still going over here. I think you got a text message.